Hi there, I am Alex Cunningham, and I will walk you through this Squarespace tutorial step by step.
Are you wondering if your Squarespace site is actually down? Or if it's just a problem on your end? Maybe you're seeing errors, a blank page, or you just can't get it to load and you're not sure where the issue lies. In today's tutorial, I'll walk you through a simple, step-by-step process to check whether your Squarespace website is truly down and help you figure out what to do next. By the end, you'll know exactly how to test your site, find out if Squarespace is having trouble, and quickly narrow down any connection issues so you can get your site back online as soon as possible. So let's dive right in. First things first, you'll want to test your site directly. Open up your browser. Any browser is fine, like Chrome, Safari, or Firefox, and carefully type your full site URL into the address bar. That might look like https://yourdomain.com if you have a custom domain, or maybe https://yourname.squarespace.com if you're using Squarespace's default address gin. Hit enter and see what happens. Is your site loading? Or are you seeing an error, a timeout, or just a spinning wheel? But don't stop there. For a more thorough check, try loading your site on different devices, maybe your desktop, your laptop, and most importantly, your phone. If it opens on your phone but not your computer, the problem might be with the device, not Squarespace. Another good trick is to try a different internet connection. If you're on Wi-Fi, switch to mobile data or vice versa. Sometimes, local network issues or even router hiccups can block specific websites. So by testing across different devices and networks, you're quickly narrowing down whether the problem is widespread or just something affecting you. Now, let's say your site doesn't load, or it's behaving strangely on every device and network. The next thing you should do is check the official Squarespace status page. This is a really handy tool. It's like the central nervous system for the entire Squarespace platform. Just go to status.squarespace.com in your browser. There you'll see live updates for all major services, like website and editor, commerce, domains and DNS, and email campaigns. If you spot a nice green operational dot next to everything, Squarespace itself is working fine, and the issue is likely on your end. If you see a yellow partial outage or a red major outage, that means something's up, and it may be affecting a large number of users, not just you. In that situation, your best move is patience. The engineers usually resolve these issues pretty quickly, so take a breath, maybe grab a coffee, and check back in an hour or two. All right, but what if you're sure it's just you? Here's a trick that solves tons of site looks down but isn't problems. Clear your browser cache, or flush your DNS. Sometimes your browser holds on to old data, and sometimes your computer's DNS gets stuck on outdated settings. To clear your cache in Chrome, just hit Ctrl+Shift+R on Windows, or Command+Shift+R on a Mac. This forces your browser to reload everything fresh. For DNS, if you're on Windows, open a command prompt and type ipconfig flush DNS. Then restart your browser. These steps can resolve those mysterious issues where your site is actually online, but just won't load for you. If you're using a custom domain, you'll want to take a quick look at your domain and SSL settings inside Squarespace. Log in, go to Settings, then Domains, and make sure your domain says Connected. That means Squarespace recognizes it as live. Scroll down to the Security section and check that the SSL certificate is listed as active. SSL is what secures the site for visitors. If it says processing or error, don't panic. Sometimes this takes a few hours, especially after major changes. Just double-check your DNS settings with your domain registrar and give Squarespace a little time to process. Finally, if your site is still down after all these tests, it's time to reach out to Squarespace support. Head over to support.squarespace.com and click Contact Support. You'll have the option for chat or email. Make sure to provide your site URL, a screenshot of the error if you can, and mention which browser and device you're using. The support team is great at tracking down stubborn issues and will help guide you back to a working site. And there you have it, a full diagnostic checklist for figuring out if your Squarespace site is really down. If you found this tutorial helpful, be sure to give it a like and drop a comment if you hit any roadblocks or have questions. And if you'd like more simple, clear tutorials just like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and good luck getting your site back online.